Let's talk about part two of delivering amazing transformational in-person workshops. I think it's one of the biggest opportunities right now to have that integrated as part of your workflow, your deliverables in your programs, running some sort of in-person experience. It's what we do as a part of our programs. And it's good. Today's conversation, we're going through 5 ideas to market and deliver your in-person workshops so that you truly transform people's lives and set yourself up as a market leader. Now, before I get into it, I wanted to share a reminder. We've got Self from Stage Live coming up. It is on September 18th and 19th. It's a 2-day workshop in Huntington Beach, California. You and me and a cool group of coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs are getting really clear on their message, on their speech, integrating it into your body, practicing it, your story, all that sort of good stuff. It's going to be transformational. If you're already an academy student, you get to come along for just it's like you literally just register for it. Like it's going to be so good, right? So if you haven't registered for it, check out the Facebook group, or you can email our team, support@teamboyd.co. If you aren't a Self from Stage student, this is your chance to get registered. There's a link in the show notes. You'll be able to register there and come along. Come and hang out. Love to hang out with you for 2 days. And you'll walk away with your speech built, your story built, integrated into who you are, and ready to be the market leader that I know you can be. We're going to be talking about all the latest opportunities in speaking in this world, and doing some cool Q&A and integration and practice, all the good stuff. And so Self from Stage Live is coming up. Really excited about it. We've got a bunch of people signed up for already. I'd love to have you in the room. Let's talk about how to run in-person events, the in-person event formula, part 2. Hey, it's Colin, and you are listening to the Expert Edge podcast. I was a professional speaker for over a decade, and now I focus on helping coaches, speakers, and course creators to speak and sell on virtual and live stages. The Expert Edge podcast is weekly content focused on helping you build your expert business. We cover marketing, storytelling, sales, communication skills, and so much more. Thanks for taking the time to tune in, and make sure you subscribe and follow us on all our social channels so you don't miss a thing. Let's listen to today's episode. So let me share with you 5 ideas to make your workshop really successful. This is part 2 of our in-person workshop series. I think there's such a huge opportunity to be able to run in-person workshops. And it's not about having thousands of people there. Honestly, just a handful of people in the room can make a huge difference to your business, to your income, to your community. And so I have ran hundreds and hundreds, and that's not an exaggeration. I mean, probably close to 1,000 in-person workshop days I've been doing this for 17 years, and they're so transformational. And so let me share with you 5 ideas, 5 lessons I've learned from running in-person workshops so you can run a killer one yourself. Number 1 is when you're marketing the workshop, you want to go from warm to cold. And so obviously getting someone in a room physically is a lift, right? So you've got to get someone to commit to buying the ticket if you're selling the ticket, buying the airfare, getting the accommodation. Like there's a few things out there. However, there are a bunch of people, I bet, on your list, in your communities, as clients, as past clients, who know, like, and trust you. And they are willing to do the work, spend the time, show up to something like this because they know that it's going to be worth it. And so the whole warm to cold thing is huge because it's going to help them to go from being in the room. So it's really tough. I'm not going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It's really tough to get someone who's completely cold. They've never seen you before to do all of those things to show up in a room. Now, one good thing is if you focus on local events, you can target and focus on local people. So that's definitely a way to get people in the room. If you're going to be focusing on local, take out any of those logistics. It's going to make a big difference. But I mean, just recently I was watching some big influencers. They've got big followings, and they were like, I was SMSing people. I was SMSing old clients. I was SMSing people. So you have to get a little bit guerrilla to catch people's attention and to get people in the room. And so I always look at the marketing plan coming into it, like 120 days out. I'm going to go to my warmest people, right? I'm going to go to my warmest people, reach out to them individually, send people like Bonjoros. Have you ever used Bonjoro? It's one of my favorite things to do. I sent a few clients. We had a few people join Self from Stage over the last couple of days. and someone just joined literally this morning, and I just send them a bonjour to welcome them into our program. And they love it. They'll send back a reply and be like, oh my gosh, I thought this was an automated response, but it's actually a real response. The more authentic you can be with people these days, my gosh, it makes such a difference. And so go from warm to cold in your marketing structure. And honestly, even if you get 10 people in a room, it's game changing. It's going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. And so marketing efforts, warm to cold. Number two, one thing to focus on is focus on finishing. One of the things that people are really desiring is a finished product. And I think with AI now, if you design some really cool processes and structures, you can get people to finish a lot of the work that they would once have to go home and do when they get home in the room. And so I think there is a massive opportunity to, if you can do a nice combination of in-person experiences, like live experience, but also them finishing the product or finishing the thing that you're working on in the room, game changing, absolutely game changing. I know for us, ourselves from Stage Live, we're going to be finishing stuff in the room, like finishing the content, finishing the story, and then practicing it and integrating it. I think integrating it is going to be a huge part of in-person experiences. A lot of the times, I don't know about you, but I know for me, I've been to so many events where it's just like drink from the fire hose, like tons of information. Yeah, that's cool. But the things that I walk away with is like, if we do one exercise where we actually do it and we integrate it into the business. I was mentioning on a live today, actually, in our Self from Stage group, and I said, I'm going to help you to install tools into your business and into your life, into yourself, and fully integrate it in. And there was a guy who commented, and he's like, I don't want to integrate a tool into my body. That sounds painful. And I was like, sure. He was being sarcastic, but it's like I was like, well, it's classic. But the truth is that people want to get it integrated into their business or integrated into their personhood, practice it, etc. And so have a big focus on finishing at the workshops. I know one of my friends, and she was also a client as well previously. She ran a workshop, and the whole focus of it was finishing, and it sold really well. Like, she was building out some products and services for her clients, and the whole focus of it was on finishing, because you get distracted all the time. I get distracted, like so much ADD going on. It's not even funny, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you can pretty much guarantee you've got some level of ADD. And so to get someone in a room and get them focused on it, it's transformational. Whenever I've done a lot of Anthony Robbins events, he talks a lot about immersion and how immersion is literally the secret to seeing change in your life. And so spending a day or 2 days in the room, immersing in content and processes and applications changes the game, changes your life. So focus on finishing, number 2. Number 3, when you're delivering your content, I usually spend a good part of the morning setting up expectations. What I mean by this is you want to frame what to expect and how to act and how to show up in the room. So often people get straight into content. They'll get straight into content. You've got a lot of time to do that, especially if you're running a full day event or a 2-day event. But you want to spend when I say a lot of time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, setting up expectations. You're not wasting people's time. You're actually framing the way that they're going to see the day, see the content. Like, for example, maybe with setting up expectations, it's a frame of look around the room and notice all the strangers. They're no longer strangers anymore. Imagine they're your friends, because they are, and they're going to be by the end of today. And so I want you to have every conversation. Imagine like you're meeting someone and they're a long lost friend. And so everyone just stand up and just shake the hand of the person next to you and just say, hey, friend. Right? So just there, that's like a little example of breaking the ice, building rapport, but framing the way that people are going to see people in the room. Does that make sense? And because when you do that, it's going to set up the expectation very differently to how they interact with other people in the room. And so that's one example. And I'll give you another example of framing expectations. One of the frames I give is that if you know something but haven't been doing it, you don't know it. So it's this frame of continuous improvement, this frame of knowledge doesn't mean knowing. And so there's a difference between knowledge and knowing. Today is about knowing. It's about learning the knowledge, but actually integrating it into your life, into your business, and installing it so that you can actually experience the benefits of it. So that's one shift. That's another example of a frame of knowing. And that's the reason why I share that at a workshop, is sometimes people will say, oh, well, I kind of already know this, right? Like maybe there's a concept or two that they already know. But if you set up a frame of, if you know it, but you're not doing it, you don't know it. That frame allows people to go, okay, I've heard this before, but maybe I don't really know it. And that, I mean, it's the truth, right? If you haven't integrated it into your business, then you don't really know it. And so that's another example of setting up expectations. And so it's called pre-framing. Pre-framing, you might want to kind of write that down. Pre-framing is one of the most important things you'll ever do at a workshop, because I've ran, like I said, close to probably 1,000 workshops. When I don't do pre-framing, or back in the day when I was a bit more amateur and I didn't pre-frame properly, the day just doesn't go as well. Like people don't connect as well. People don't take on the content as well. But when you spend a bit of time pre-framing, it's huge in terms of how well and how smooth the day goes. Number 4, get people to fill out boxes or fill in boxes. A lot of the times my students will say, Colin, how do you run such great activities? One of the ways I run such great activities is I basically, when I'm mapping out an activity, I've got boxes that I want people to fill. For example, like let's say we're mapping out their story, right? And so I'm going to have 5 boxes, and it's going to start with, what's the moment that you're going to start with? What's the first sentence? And they'll write their first sentence. What's the challenge that you were facing in that story? Like, what was the dilemma, the internal challenge? They'll write out the challenge. And then I'll say, what's the decision that you made? They'll write out the decision they made. And then I'll say, what was the success journey you had? Right? And they'll write out the success journey. And then finally, what was the insight you had? And they'll write out the insight. And they've got 5 boxes filled out. All of a sudden, those 5 boxes become usable. So if you've ever kind of not understood how activities work, what you want to do is you want to take the complex and make it simple. And how do you do that? You break it into steps. You break it into processes. And so if you've ever done any of our programs, like Sell From Stage, or you're a part of our elite program, you'll notice that whenever I'm doing activities, I'm breaking the complex and making it simple. And the biggest thing is to not overwhelm people. A lot of the content that spits out from AI, it's super overwhelming. Have you ever found that? Like it's like so long, it produces so much content. You're like, I don't even know where to start, right? And so one way to do it is to actually simplify it right down. And when you're dealing with humans, you want it really simple. And so the more simple you can be, the clearer you can be, the more easy it is for them to implement. And so getting people to fill out boxes as part of activities is a really key thing. And number 5 is design your workshop for discussion. So often I'll go to workshops and either it's set up like a big U table. Have you ever been in workshops where it's like the presenter's in the middle and it's a big U table? That's okay. It's kind of set up for discussion, but you know who it's set up for discussion for is you and the audience only. Or maybe you go to a conference or you go to a session where it's set up where it's like a school teacher's, it feels like a classroom. Classroom setup's okay if you don't have room to fit in everyone, right? And so it's like, think rows of people. It's just rows of people sitting next to each other. And that's fine. Like, that's okay. But let me tell you the secret. One of the best ways to set it up. Round tables. Round tables are the best ways to set up, especially if you're running workshops and I think even conferences. And the reason why that is people are set up at a logistical angle where they can talk to each other on the table. It creates like a little community for each table. And so what happens is you're going to be teaching and then you're going to break out, you're going to do some conversations on the tables, you're going to do some activities on the tables, and people can easily communicate and talk with each other. And it feels like a little community, a little safe spot for people to talk and share. One thing to know, if you are doing circular tables when you're setting up your workshops, make sure to not have a chair at the facing backwards to you. And because some people will sit there and like not turn around. It's super weird, right? As if you would never turn around. But some people don't. It's like they might feel uncomfortable to spin their chair around. So I always say this, try to set it up so that it's circular tables, but it's kind of like mini U's, if that makes sense, like mini U shapes. And so you don't have a chair facing backwards. Now, if you do have too many people in the audience and you have to have a chair there, I will physically say to people, hey, for those of you who are facing me, like you're on the front facing chair at the end and you're kind of facing backwards, could you just turn your chair around and just face me? I think that's going to be the best way for you to engage. So as long as you feel comfortable, turn it around, or at least be at an angle where you can see me. And so logistically setting up the room, especially at the start of the workshop, is going to be really important, because that's going to help you to set up the whole process really well, and see transformation in people's lives. So 5 ideas. Number 1, focus on warm to cold, right? To get someone in a room, definitely focus on your warm audience, your clients, your prospects, your past clients. Reach out to them personally. A little bit of legwork in that space is going to make a big difference. Warm to cold. Number 2, focus on finishing. And so people want to walk out with a finished product. That's what we do in our workshops. That's what I do in Elite. Every time I run a workshop, the goal is to focus on finishing, that they're actually walking away with some sort of finished product right at the start, or at the end, should I say, and so they can walk away and install it in their business right away. Number 3, set up expectations. It's called pre-framing. Spend a bit of time to pre-frame the day, to set up how to interact with you and with each other. It's going to make a huge difference to how smoothly the day goes. Number 4, fill out boxes, right? Get people to fill out simple boxes. That's a way to integrate stuff into people's lives. And number 5, design for discussion. So design the logistical structure of the room for discussion. And so the more you can do that, the better it's going to be. These are 5 ideas to make your in-person workshops really great. Now, I wanted to share one last reminder. This is probably the last reminder you're going to get. Sell from Stage Live is coming up. If you are a Sell from Stage student, you've already basically paid for it. Like, this is a bonus for the Academy. So if you haven't registered for Sell from Stage Live, it's going to be phenomenal. Huntington Beach, California. It's going to be on 18th and 19th of September. Coming up really soon. Now's the time to register. This is like the last week to actually register. So if you haven't registered and you're an Academy student, you can either go to your email. It'll be on the email. You can send an email to our team. You can go to the Facebook group. There's a lot of posts in the Facebook group about that. I wanted to send one last reminder. This is the last time we're running Sell from Stage Live as a bonus for Sell from Stage. Okay, so I just want to tell you, right? You want to be in the room. It's going to be phenomenal. If you want to come along and you're not a member of Sell from Stage at the moment, there'll be a link down below. You can get yourself registered. It's going to be unbelievable. Not only will you get access to our online curriculum, our online community, and some coaching and all that sort of stuff, but you'll also get the 2-day workshop as part of it. It's one of the best times to register for Sell from Stage. If you haven't yet, the link will be down below to get yourself registered, and it's going to be amazing. When I say down below, I mean not below here. In the show notes, right? And so it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be so good. Love to hang out with you, have a conversation, eat some tacos, and change your life. Let's get into it. I hope to see you there.